Hey everybody, it's Miss Brothers. Hey, in the video before this, we learned how to set up our table of contents and number our pages in our interactive notebook. Today what I want to do, I want to go ahead and just kind of deal with how we actually put something in our interactive notebook. I know this seems pretty straightforward, but there is a particular way I like it to be done, so I'm going to go ahead and teach you that way today. So what you're looking at right here, you're looking at a copy of the safety contract. Now, if you remember from the last lesson I did here, I told you that the safety contract was going to be on page 2 of your INB. So go ahead and turn to page 2. And let's go ahead and get this set up. Now, the way I want you to set up your work, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in again so that you can see this a little bit better. There is a specific way I would like you to put things in your notebook. And again, I do this because it will help you stay organized, it will help you find your materials, and it will save you time when it comes time to study. So the first thing I'd like you to do is when I ask you to tape something in, there's a couple of things you need to do before you tape it in. The first thing I need you to do is for this case, with any left-hand page, in the upper left-hand corner, I want you to put the date that you got the material. So for instance, you're getting this material on Tuesday, September 6th. So you're going to go ahead and write September 6th, and you can write that any way you want. I'm just going to write 9/6/16 up in the upper left-hand corner because I'm working on a left-hand page here. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I've got some sort of title. I always like to write the title in just in case there's some question. In this case, in nice big letters, I'm going to put safety contract. So again, anybody that's opening this notebook can see that on page 2, we have the safety contract, and we got the safety contract on this date. So now let's go ahead and get this thing taped in. Now, unlike a lot of teachers, I don't like to use glue in my interactive notebooks. I think it kind of makes a mess. It's hard to put several things on one page, which I like to do. So I like to use tape in my classroom. Now, one of the things that I want you to be aware of is that if you're using tape, you don't need to use a lot of tape. A lot of students, they want to pull like a huge, piece of tape off and then put it, and then just completely tape down their work. We use a method in this class called making it flippable. And in order to do that, this is what you're going to do. Start by taking a small piece of tape. Now, notice that the size of this tape is not very big, okay? Maybe the size of the upper part of my thumb. Now, a lot of students, what they want to do is they want to take just one piece of tape and stick it to the top. But you have to understand something. In this class, we do quite a bit of work behind the work that we get. So sometimes I'll give you some work to do or some instruction, and then I'll ask you to work on the page behind it. So we do something called making the page flippable. So in order to do that, what we do is we take our small piece of tape and we tape it on the inside edge. And take a second small piece of tape and go ahead and tape it on the bottom inside edge. So now I can read what's here. If there's some instructions or something that I have to do, I can flip it out of the way and I can work on the space behind it. Everything that we put in the notebook, unless I tell you otherwise, is always going to be flippable. So flippable means that we're going to take it, we're going to tape it in using 2 small pieces of tape, and that way we can flip it out of the way and we can do some work behind it. It allows us to be more efficient with our INB. Now, while we're here taping things in, let's go ahead and tape a couple of things into the covers of our notebook. The first thing I'm going to have you tape in is I'm going to have you tape in this sheet right here. And this just gives you some important information. It's going to tell us who the notebook belongs to. This is contact information for me and just a reminder of the things that you should have in class every single day. Notebook, pencil, homework, and any extra materials that might be necessary when you come in. And like everything else in the notebook, we're going to go ahead and make this flippable. So again, small piece of tape on the inside edge, second small piece of tape on the inside edge, and now anybody that opens this is automatically going to know that this notebook belongs to Miss Brothers. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to have you do is go ahead and flip all the way to the back inside cover of your notebook. And on the back inside cover, you're going to go ahead and tape this is your INB notebook check sheet. So like I said, every time that I grade your notebook, I fill this out and it gives you the categories and what you got in each one. And we're going to go ahead and tape this in and make it flippable as well. Again, small piece of tape on the inside cover, a second small piece of tape on the inside cover, and that's it. So again, when it comes to taping something into your notebook, the date that you got the material, the title, then go ahead and tape it in, making it flippable using two small pieces on the inside corner. And once you're done with that, the next thing you have to do is you have to go in and make sure that you have updated it in your table of contents. So in this case, I can see that page 2 is my safety contract. I can turn to page 2, and there it is. All right, there you go, taping something into your INB.